let's talk after. Man, y'all already know what time it is, man. Know who we.
It's crazy when I didn't feel accepted in society, man. The older I get, the more.
That's my only problem with that nigga, bro. Like, that nigga tough, bro. Like, that nigga's Rod Wave is tough. He be having me feeling like he be having me wanting to get played by girls or get heartbroken just so I can feel that shit even more. Cause he crazy, but that's my only problem with him. Like, men, well, shit. Usually when I say homie, it's either like, not that I'm talking about Marty, or if I'm talking, not that I'm talking about that nigga, but so we was talking. Me and him was talking to this other nigga we cool with, and he don't listen to Rod like that, and we was like, I wish Rod would give us. We was talking about him. We was like, man, I wish this nigga like give us more than one verse, and the nigga was like, cause he don't listen to him. He was like, wait, he only give y'all, well, he only do one verse. And I think Omari was like, yeah, bro, I guess he be in the booth, he do that one verse, and like he start, like he get too emotional, he tell the like producer to cut that, alright, I'm done, cut the shit off. And that shit had me crying when he said that. Like that shit had me dying. Cause I can dead ass see him doing that, bro. He be pouring his heart out in that fucking music, bro. But yeah, like that shit he just dropped this past Friday. That shit has no skips, except that Jack Harlow song. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, not to hate on Jack Harlow or nothing, but that nigga raps real regular. Like, I feel like I can rap like this nigga. But yeah, it is Wednesday, the 17th, 8:09 a.m. I'm doing this before I gotta go to work. Well, shit, if I even go to work, I just got a text message saying I might not need to come in. And based on my history, when I get shit like that, I usually get fired like not too long after that, maybe the day of, because I did something that I didn't know about or something happened. I get fired for fucking, man, I got fired for so many jobs. I'm 24. I had as many jobs as my age, probably more. A whole lot of go in one days, a whole lot of 30 minutes going in, saying I need to go to the bathroom, and then never coming back. Whole lot of lunch break leaves, whole lot of one day and quits, whole lot of week quits, whole lot of 2 week quits. But yeah, like, so we'll see how this goes. I'll keep you updated on that. But it's a normal thing up there. Like, I haven't had, cause like we be overstaffed and they be like, oh, you don't need to come in. I haven't got hit with it in a minute. So yeah, it's probably just my turn to do it. Somebody just got hit with it, one of my homeboys. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, I almost didn't get. That's like I'm always saying that, huh? Like I'm just half-ass doing it. But nah, I feel like now that I'm like on the bi-weekly thing, I'm gonna have more stuff to get to. And I tried this week, guys. I really tried this week to get shit. I think I got a couple things, but nothing. I just realized when I sat down that I already posted the last video to the last episode fucking 2 weeks ago. So I need to do that shit. So I'm gonna probably post this and that. Well, shit, if this comes out today, I should. If I don't go to work, I should have this out today. So yeah, this episode and last week's episode. But yeah, man. I don't know. I've been like a little funk. Like, everybody goes through it and all that shit, but like something been off with me a little bit. I don't know. I haven't really put my finger on it, but yeah. Anyways, maybe if I force myself back into the routine of things, it just come back. Cause it's so easy to fall out of routine. It's hard to stay in it. Like when you out of it, you don't even think about it. Well, I do. I'm like, damn, I need to do this. I need to do this. But I really don't care that much to go back and do it. So, but yeah, now I'm trying to force myself back into a routine to get back in the routine. I just said a lot without saying a whole bunch of nothing. But anyways, what's first? I ain't got no water in here. I might as well just do this shit without one. But anyways, so it's been this thing going around. I don't know. It's making us seem like we're old, like my age group and maybe like 2 years old. I guess from like 2014 niggas, y'all niggas getting kind of old. Cause like shit, it's almost 10 years since y'all graduated. So I say 2015 on to like now, I guess, like 2015 graduates all the way until now, I guess you could say. But it's this thing. Well, let's say 2015 to 17. 2015 to when my brother graduated, 19. Yeah, so 2015 to 2019 or some shit like that. This little thing going around where it's like how like these kids different these days. Like I guess they're going to school like they fits is crazy. Like I heard they wearing like gallery department and all that shit. Like, and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't grow up with that because I didn't have money like that. And I remember we used to go to the thrift store for like we used to go to the thrift store for our clothes and shit like that. And now going thrift shopping is cool, but when we were going, I'm like, damn, bro, we had like $25 to like get an outfit and then we get some shoes. So my mom made it work or whatever. But the one like now niggas got gallery department, like Dior and all that other shit, bait and all that other shit, spray ground backpacks, bait backpacks, fitteds and shit like that, AirPods and shit. And I'm like, and Off-White and all that type of shit like that. And I'm like, whew, I would have been getting picked on, boy, because I ain't had none of that shit. Luckily, like, they talking about school, like, people getting what's that called? What girls do to their face? Like, basically a glam on their face, like, paying $100 for the first week of school or some shit like that to have their face looking right with makeup and all that shit like it's prom or something. We didn't spend the type of money they doing until, like, prom. But they're doing it, like, they got to keep up with the trends and all that shit. TikTok and all of these fucking social media platforms got niggas in the chokehold. I'm like, yeah, man, that's tough. I'm so glad I didn't grow up with that shit. Because I had one pair of shoes for, like, the first semester. Luckily, if I got, like, but then when the outlets came, I got, like 2 pair of shoes for, like, the price of one. That's when I started gravitating towards Vans. So I'm like, I can get more with this than like with 1 pair of Jordans throughout the school year that I gotta. And like, yeah, so Vans still my favorite shoe just because of that. Like, I like other shoes, but people will always see me in Vans no matter what. Like, I got Jordans and all that shit like that, Air Forces and all that shit. But Vans will always be my go-to. I'll choose that over any shoe. That and slides. Like, I got shoes that I've been having since like the peak of COVID that I just wore that I forgot I had. But anyways, yeah, they're going crazy with all that shit. I got 1 pair of shoes first school year unless I got like some cheap shoes, and then I got not first semester, then I got another pair of shoes to finish off the semester. And I remember when I used to go to school, like when I was younger, before I got in like middle school-ish, we wore uniforms. And uniforms is nice. Cause you can just basically wear the same shit all week, but I had a problem like playing football outside, getting grass stains on my shit, and I used to get my ass whooped for it and like getting hosed in and shit, and like mom used to, I don't know, man, it was rough. But and then when we transitioned into like no uniforms, I thought it was gonna be good, but it really showed who had money and who didn't. Cause man, boy did I look bad. And yeah, like, but yeah, these kids got it. These. If parents throwing out money like that for clothes and all that shit, if I'm a kid, if I thought the way I think in this area and I was a kid, I'd take get the money they getting for a gallery department and all that shit. Go to a thrift store, ball out, give me some shoes and shit, and be good. But me, I was always like a sweatpants type of guy and all that shit. So I'll still be that. The way I think now, I don't really care to fit in. Back then, I just didn't want to get picked on. Like, I didn't have the shit niggas had. Like, I never had a pair of Beats and all that shit, and I didn't get an iPhone until fucking high school and all that shit. But I always just stayed out the way so I didn't get picked on. But I never picked on people either. But I was always with the cool kids. Cool kids, what the fuck. But anyway. But yeah, these kids different. And like, it's even showing like, but yeah, it's even showing like these kids are just different from us. Like dressing and all that shit, the social media and all that shit, they're just different. But these niggas are athletes. Like, these niggas be 14, like I be seeing these little clips on like just posted up on my feed or whatever. These niggas got 40-inch verticals. They be 16 putting niggas in the rim. 16 fucking. They're like 16 years old and they're like 6'5", 6'10". I'm like, what the fuck? Like, nigga, we was getting hype just grabbing rims, slapping backboard. These niggas are windmilling. I feel like if you ain't windmilling and putting it through your legs, nigga, shut the fuck up. We was hype when we threw a oop and we caught it in rim graze. I wasn't doing that. But shit, I got hype when I slapped backboard. But these niggas are different these days. And yeah, man, I wouldn't be able to survive. I don't know what they feeding niggas or like the training methods these niggas doing. But I think these niggas just freaks of nature. I ain't gonna lie. Like all of them look older than me. I asked somebody how old I looked. The nigga said 17. I'm like, I ain't got no facial hair. I don't think I'm getting any. I'm like, that's sick, bro. Like these niggas are different. But yeah, moving on. So, man, bro, like I never was like. So in like music and shit like that, I was never my favorite rappers and shit never like one of my favorite rappers and shit never died and all that shit like that. Well, not one of my favorites, like some not listened to and like died, like Nipsey and all that shit like that. Them niggas like passed away or whatever. But that I liked for real, like never died or passed away or anything like that, or got incarcerated or anything like that until now. This nigga Young Thug, bro, like I'm sick. I thought it was gonna be a little thing. Oh, he sit down for a little bit and then he'll get back out in a couple years. But nah, it's not looking good for bro. Like he might not get out at all. And it's sad as fuck because like that was some niggas know like that was he was in my top 5, bro. Like that nigga is nice. Like he got me through a lot of shit, through a lot of shit. But yeah, I remember around the time like. But yeah, I told y'all before, like, just remember where you at when you listen to the shit and, like, how it gets you, and, like, how good times were. And, yeah, bro, like, when that Slime Season 1, 2, 3, what's that, Wyclef Jean, is that the one no, Jeffrey, I'm saying Wyclef Jean. Jeffrey and all that shit dropped, great time for me. Remember I had my first car and shit rolling, bro. But, yeah, it's just weird how they did it. Like, why didn't they get the nigga immediately? I don't know. Here go my little theory or whatever. I'm kind of ignorant to the fact because, like, when it's about, I was like, man, I don't want to read into that shit. He'll just get out. He got money. He'll get out. Fuck it. But the way my ignorance of it, how I look into it, I'm like, you let him kill off. Well, quote unquote, he's not necessarily guilty, but y'all let him, quote unquote, not let him, but what am I trying to say? Well, just say he killed 50 plus niggas or whatever and all that shit, got niggas set up or whatever to kill niggas or whatever. And they're black niggas. And y'all killing off black niggas to get a black nigga later on. When y'all could have just seen it once and then took him in for them couple niggas that got picked off or whatever. But no, y'all let a whole bunch of black niggas get killed. And then later on get the biggest of them that was doing the shit. But anyways, I try to sound like I was woke and shit like that, but that's anyways. So yeah, that's it on that. We just got out of COVID. Well, shit, not out of it, but pretty much because nobody really. I don't know when the last time I wear a mask. I was real cautious of wearing a mask and all that shit, staying inside and all that shit like that. Like hand sanitizer on me at all time. But I'm at the point now where I don't do any of that shit. Like, I don't wear masks. I mean, the hand sanitizer's in the car, but I don't carry it on me. But, yeah, man, I don't do none of that shit. So, yeah, I don't do any of that. And now it's like some monkeypox shit. Like, so we finna go back into another crisis and shit like that. Like, I remember when COVID was first around and shit, niggas really wasn't paying no attention. They just heard about it. And then it was a whole outbreak and we had to shut down all that shit. Great time, by the way. Like, great time, like, shutting down and all that shit. Great time. I wish we can go back to that. I was talking about that with somebody. That was a great time, bro. Like, like I'm an introvert. I don't really like going out anyways. That was a perfect excuse for me not to go out. But yeah. Now it's like the monkeypox shit. Like I always, like I don't like speaking on shit because I think it's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna later on touch on shit if I got enough time. If I'm later on touch on something else about this shit. Like I'm thinking like if I talk about it, like bad shit or something shit like that is gonna happen to me. Then I'm like what the fuck? But we're gonna see. Like I don't get how monkeypox came. My thought is like you dirty ass niggas need to take a bath. And then, like, when they get it, see how I said dirty ass niggas can take a bath? That's the shit that's gonna, if I get it, that's the reason I'm gonna get it. Not cause I'm not taking a bath, like, just cause I talk crazy on it or some shit like that. That's just the way how shit works to me, bro. Like I used to crack jokes on my brother cause he had eczema. I'm like, you got eczema, you dry ass nigga. Just joking and shit like that. But then I slowly started to recognize, like, little dry patches on me. I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm not gonna joke about that shit anymore. That's not a joke anyway, but I don't know. It's like when niggas got, I don't know. Niggas always gonna crack jokes. Like you can go through a breakup and like niggas gonna crack jokes. Like you can be heartbroken, but nigga, we're gonna crack jokes on your goofy ass. But anyways, yeah, like my thought was like you dirty ass niggas need to take a bath or whatever. And you dirty ass niggas need to take a bath. And then I'm like, nah, that's not right. That's how I think it's coming. And then like people not cautious enough to like stay in the house and they got it. I seen this nigga in line. Well, I didn't see him, but it was a video of him just in line with shorts on, with the shit all on him. And I'm like, they said if you touch somebody, you can get it too. I'm like that's crazy as fuck. That's crazy as fuck. You can touch somebody and just get it. And yeah. Oh, and another thing, well, I'm not talking about doctors diagnosing this or whatever, but, well, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. So doctors getting real lazy now. Like, I've been noticing shit like, so my brother, he was having headaches or whatever, and he went to the doctor, and he was like, yeah, I'm having a headache or something like that. Like, I'm not feeling right. Something's not wrong with me. I mean, something's wrong with me. I'm not feeling good. And so, they something's not feeling I'm not feeling right. I'm not feeling right, and he was like something wrong with me. They CAT scan and all that shit like that, and they was like, oh, nothing wrong with you, you're fine, go home. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's just a one-time thing. And so my aunt went to the doctor and like she can't see, and they was like, she was like, I can't see or something like that. They CAT scanned her, looked in her eyes, and all the exams and shit like that, and they was like, oh, nothing wrong with you. And then I see another video, like a girl, she went to the doctor early. She was like, I think I got monkeypox or whatever. They checked her out, did all this, and oh, you're good. You don't have anything. It's just we don't need antibiotics. It's just a flare up or something you ate or some shit like that. And let her go. And I'm like, so this is a reoccurring thing. I don't know if we wore the doctors out with the COVID shit and all that shit like that, but like, I don't know. They're getting kind of lazy. They're getting kind of lazy. Well, not getting kind of lazy, but I don't know, like wore out. I don't know, but I can't even bash them because they gonna do their job and all that shit like that. But yeah, that's just my little piece that I had to talk about. And now it's like the real shit. So I was at work last week. It was me, Marty, Chris, and this other guy. We were all talking. You know, we all be talking on the phone while we working and shit. And so this conversation came up. Me and Chris was talking, and the way the way we was raised, but yeah, let's say the way we was raised. We got brainwashed. But as I get older, I get unbrainwashed to shit that makes sense and doesn't make sense. So I was always told, like dating out of race was like wrong or all that shit like that. Ignorant, right? But and I believed it. And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, fuck they talking about, like, no, I didn't say fuck they talking about, but me and Chris felt the same way, like, yeah, we both got taught that and all that shit like that. And then, but Marty, he doesn't care, like, if he likes you and all that shit like that, which is cool. And let's see if I can remember how the whole thing went. I'm thinking about other shit, like I'm getting messages and shit while I'm recording, so I'm like trying to read that and talk at the same time. But let's see how this went. Well, we were talking. We was like, yeah, I can only date black girls. Whatever. Marty likes everything. I'm like, I'll talk to other races, but as far as date them, I can't do it. Marty was like, why? I'm like, and keep in mind, like, as I get old, like, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole again. But I think for myself these days, and so, like, if it makes sense to me, all right, we can rock with it. As I pointed out the religion a couple episodes ago and a while ago. So he was like, so you can't date a white girl or like Hispanic girl or anything like that. I'm like, no. He's like, that's crazy. I just think that's crazy to me. This one, Chris went quiet. Chris was just like, yeah, I can't. I just can't do it. And then he didn't give a reason why. He was basically just saying like, yeah, He's like, basically he was like, I just can't do it. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like Chris. And then Marty went to go in depth about it. Why can't y'all do it? So then I was like, the reason I can't, like, how I can only. Well, he's like, how can't you date any other race than black? I'm like, just cause they can't relate to me. He's like, what you mean they can't relate to you? I'm like they can sympathize with me and all that shit like that, but they can't relate to me. Like, if I'm dating a white girl, if I get pulled over and she see me acting all funny, she's like, why you doing all that, and I'm acting a certain way, like, chill, and she like, oh, don't do that to him, like, you ain't gotta give me your license, my dad is the chief of police and all that shit like that, and I was telling him all this. I'm like, she can't relate to me. She don't know why I'm acting like this in front of this guy to not get killed or whatever. I'm like, and I kept reiterating, I'm like, she can sympathize with me, but she can't relate. He was like, so you're not dating her because you black or whatever and you get profiled. I'm like, nigga, it's hard enough living, like, I'm like, yes, she can. I'm like, he was like, so, I'm like, she's rich and all that shit, and like, damn, I can't remember what exactly I said. Oh, and then he flipped it to a black girl, and she's in the same position, like, wealthy, and her dad's chief of police and all that shit like that. I'm like, I wouldn't date her either, because he thought I was just saying, oh, I won't date them just because they're white or whatever. I'm like, I'm mostly not dating her because she can't relate to anything. She can't relate to anything I got going on. And he kept saying, so you're not dating her because she's not black and she can't relate. And he gave me a scenario with the black girl, and like, she's basically like an Oreo type girl, and she's like, she's well off, and her dad's chief of police. She can't relate to me either. I'm like, then I'm not dating her. My main thing is I need a girl to relate to me. Like, if you can't relate, I can't be with you. And I thought it was making perfect sense. He was like, nah, that don't make sense. That just baffled me. And I'm like, the reason now a white girl's totally out the picture is because she can't relate to me at all. Like, or any other race, they can't relate to me at all. Like, Hispanics can relate more so than a white person, but like, they can't relate either. It's tough being black in itself. Like, it's hard being black altogether. So I be damn date someone who can't even relate. Like, I come home, yeah, I just got denied for this job. Why, you have mid-hour credentials and all that shit like that. I'm like, nigga, like, and I was telling him that. He was like, so now you're just saying everybody racist. I'm like, it doesn't have to be blatant racism for it to be racism. I'm like, so he got pulled up, not to his business, but it's not that big of a deal. So he had like this phone case with like someone smoking on it, and the police asked him, he was like, so do you smoke? I'm like, why the fuck he asked you that? I'm like, that's profiling right there. So you see this art piece right here, and now all of a sudden you think I smoke and got drugs and shit in the car, and now you question me and all that shit. I'm like, that's profiling itself, bro. I'm like, No, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but I think so. And like, I gotta teach my child to act a certain way. Like when he get pulled over, don't move your hand off steering wheel, shit like that. Don't move too quick. All that shit. Like the white, like she can't relate to that. She can sympathize with me. Oh, that's so sad and all that shit. She can't relate to me. Like if she got both parents in the house, they happily married and all that shit. And I got raised by a single parent and I have father issues and all that shit like that. She can't relate. Not even say the black girl with both of that shit can. But she can relate to more things because she's black, but I'm not dating her either because she can't. My main thing is like, if you can relate, I can mess with you. But the reason why other races are out the picture in general, because you can't relate to being black. Like, being black is hard enough in itself. But yeah, that was it on that. I wish I could remember the whole thing in depth. That was basically like a summary of it and all that shit like that. And all that shit. But yeah, that's it on that. And it was another thing he asked me. He was like, he asked me because my love language is well, I just did a love language quiz 2 days ago or a day or so ago, and and he did one too. I sent to all them, and there's like quality time, physical touch, and all that shit like that. And mine was like receiving gifts, receiving gifts and all that shit. But prior to this, like weeks before, he asked me, how can you just let girls buy you stuff like that? I'm like, shit, nigga, I see them as equals. Like, we can do the same thing. And I was joking with him, I'm like, if you see him as beneath you, just say that. And but yeah, I was saying that. I'm like, but yeah, bro, like it's like that's why I don't like a girl can buy me something anytime. Like I'm not scared to ask my girl for anything. Like so he asked me for a couple dollars the other day. I'm like, nigga, ask the girl you talking to or whatever. And he was like, nah, you know I can't do that. I'm like, shit, couldn't be me. I shit, my girl bought all this. Like I don't care. Like you can buy me some and I'll buy you some. I don't care. Like I'm like, so say she asked for a MacBook or some shit like that for Christmas. He's like, yeah, I'll get it for her and all that shit. And she was like, she walked in with a red little gift bag with earrings, like cubic zirconian earrings like that. It's like, oh, it's at least thought that count. Like no, like you don't gotta match my gift, but nigga, get me a good gift. I don't get how he does that. Like I don't know. I'm equal when it comes to everything. If one can happen to another, then we good. I explained this in another episode. I think it was Quick Hitters or some shit like that. They was like, nah, y'all just gotta go listen to it. I feel like I made great points. A little, it's called like Quick Hitters and shit or something like that. Funny, but I was making good points if you guys just listen. Oh, and another thing, I don't get why. So I was talking to him yesterday. And he wanna not tell his business again, but it's not that serious. He'll tell me about it if I don't need to be doing it, but and I'll just take it out. But anyways, he went on this date, and it was this other girl, and he went on a double date, and his girl went to the bathroom, and her friend has a boyfriend, and he was sitting there by himself, so she came over and gave him a conversation or whatever. And then his girl came back, and then I guess her boyfriend charged her up, basically talking about, I don't like you talking to him, all shit like that. I'm like, yeah, bro, I've been hearing shit like that. Like, dudes be. I was talking to another girl. I'm like, yeah, I have a problem too, whatever. And she was like, what is controlling? Nah, I just don't. I just shut down and don't communicate, and I shut down and don't communicate, and I disgruntle the people around me when I do that. Yeah, that's my problem. But they immediately yelled out controlling. I'm like, what the? That's what y'all used to? And he told me that, and I talked to more people, and that's the thing. Like, they don't let their girls have jobs. They can't have. I was in the store and I saw this girl I used to go to school with. I said, "What's up?" And she did like a quick little "What's up?" and kept it moving. And then later DM me, oh, my boyfriend was there, I couldn't talk and shit like that. I'm like, it wasn't even that serious, okay. I'm like, my boyfriend don't let me have friends. Hold on. Like, I don't, like, you can't have friends that you knew before him. I never got that, bro. I don't get why your girl can't have, me and Marty's talking about this yesterday. I don't get why your girl can't have guy friends, especially if you knew him before you. I get I don't know, I'm kind of in the middle of both. I wouldn't stress over it, like, oh, don't be friends with that nigga. Like, them having friends after we start talking or while we're dating, they just don't talk to them like every day, all day, and all that crazy shit like that. But yeah, you can check up on them like holidays and all that shit like that. Go out with them every now and then. I'm not tripping on that. But the way niggas are moving now is ridiculous, bro. Like, you can't have guy friends. I don't want you to have a job because I don't want you to see guys at work. Like, drop your like that shit is weird to me. And the fact that dudes are moving like that is sick. Like, let your like and you can't wear this certain stuff. Like, my girl the other day, well, not the other day, but she was like, "Can I wear this?" Just joking around. I'm like, yeah. And I think she was caught off guard with it. But she know I'm not like that or anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm not your daddy or anything like that. Like, I don't care what you wear or anything like that. Like, that's where I'm at with I'm not your daddy. You gonna do what you want. And I was telling Marty, I'm like, the only way I'll get cheated on if she brings me like a STD or something like that, or like the shit is blatant, like she walks in with a nigga and all that shit like that. I'm not gonna go looking to be cheated on. Like, I probably got cheated on, but I'll never know that because I'm not looking for it or nobody brought it to me. I don't want to know that shit. Why would you want to know if you got cheated on? Why would you go look for that shit? It makes sense to me. Like, I was telling Mari, I'm like, when a girl go through your phone, why is she mad when she finds shit? Like, she got the right to be mad because I'm doing something I'm not supposed to, but you going to go look for shit and then you find shit. In my head, I'm like, can you really be mad? But in reality, yes, she can be mad. But in my head, that makes perfect sense. Like, why the fuck are you mad? You just went to go look for trouble. So I'm like, you can't be mad when you actually go find some shit that you're looking for. Like, that made perfect sense to me. And he was like, nah, yeah. Which she does have the right to be mad. But nigga, don't be mad. Like, you went to go look for that shit, bro. Like, you went to go look for that. And so, yeah. What else? I had something else to say on this. Oh, so Mario was talking to this girl, and I guess she was going out. And why the fuck am I missing this thing so much? I just talked to him yesterday. Now I'm recording. He told me all this, but yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm going out, and she asked her friend, oh, who are gonna be there? And she named a whole bunch of guy people, and Mario was like, oh, okay, be safe, and then he hung up. And he said she called her back and was like. She was like, oh, so you don't care about me hanging out with niggas and all that shit like that? Mario was like, no. And all that shit like that. And I'm like, I feel it, like, me and him are, like, alike. But he also gets on my nerves, like, crazy. Because, like, we alike so much, but we also see shit differently a lot, too. And, man, I remember we was at work one time. Nigga, he says pecan instead of pecan. And we got off work at 6. We didn't end up leaving the job till like 8. Because we kept going back and forth. I'm like, we do that about everything. That's low-key like my little brother and shit like that. Like, we just go back and forth about it. It could be the smallest shit. And we'd go back and forth with the whole, like, for hours. Like, it'd be like 4 niggas in the, like, little debate or whatever. Next thing you know, just us two going back and forth. Everybody else go quiet because they done with it. And all that shit like that. And okay, moving up. Ooh, see, look what happened when I got 2 weeks to prep or whatever. I'm gonna be at 40 minutes. But anyways, I know y'all seen it, y'all probably didn't, but it was this lady driver in Cali or whatever. It was an intersection, and it looked like she was going about 80, 60 or some shit like that, and she smacked some other cars, and they blew up in flames and all that shit. Rest in peace to all those people, and killed a couple people and killed a pregnant woman and all that shit like that. And I don't know how she's staying alive, cause that shit was crazy how fast she was going and how she hit him. And she's not alive, and she's going to jail she's sentenced to 90 years. And this is another thing. I was like, I speak on something, then like the shit. Hopefully, the shit doesn't happen to me, but it's a back of the thought. Like, don't speak about it because you're gonna jinx yourself or some shit like that. Like, shouldn't be talking like that or anything like that. But fuck it, anyways. Like, so she hit him, and now she got sentenced 90 years and anything like that. And she's up there crying. And what I'm gonna say, I'm like, why you up there crying? You did it. Like, that goes for the people who, like, this is shit right here. It's like, I won't be surprised if it happened to me because, like, nigga, shut up. But anyway, nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But, like, they, like, when they shoot, like, the guy who, I think it was Olave, wherever the fuck, wherever the shit that was called in Texas, like, the shooting that was happening, I'm sure another one happened, plenty happened since then. But I'm trying not to hear about him anymore. Or, like, the guy who shot up the shopping market, the little grocery store with the elderly people and all that shit, and, like, the guy who shot up the school and, like, killed people and killed his grandma and all that shit like that. Like, them people and the girl who caused the wreck, I don't know if it was a malfunction in her car or anything like that, but I don't think it was. If it was, my bad. But how she crashed and killed those people and then had a nerve to cry and then all that shit like that. My thing is, if you having a bad day, kill yourself. That sounds terrible, but don't or go out and seek help or something, like. But if you want to kill niggas, just kill yourself, bro. Like, that sounds sucks to say. I'd rather you get help, but you obviously want to kill something, so just kill yourself. Don't kill other niggas having, I don't know, bro. Like, you having a bad day, don't ruin other niggas' day because you having a bad day. That's all I gotta say on that. I want to talk about Charleston White, but I'm gonna get more on him later on. I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, anyway, what I'm saying on that nigga is funny. That nigga, he's blunt as fuck. But if you actually listen to him, I'm like, he's saying what you need to hear, what needs to be said. But that nigga is funny. But I'll talk about him on the next episode or anything like that. So I haven't been since basketball season ended. I haven't been talking about like sports or anything like that. But it's shit to talk about, and I don't know why I haven't in the off season. My mouth is so dry. Fuck it, I want to wrap this up, but yeah, man. Off season. I got it where I want to talk about. I hit something first. It's getting to the good part of the year. It's gonna start cooling off. Gonna be hoodie season and all that shit. Not too cold outside, but just enough to put on a hoodie and get dressed up cool and all that shit. Like, football season, basketball season gonna start at the same time. That means my pocket's gonna be crazy going on sports betting and all that shit. Like that. This is gonna be a great time of the year. Starting next month. 2K drop, Madden just dropped. I haven't played the new Madden yet, but Cal, we only played one time, but we gonna need to play again because I heard this one is like you be beating up on your little poor homeboys and shit in Madden and shit like that. You know what happened when we played and all that shit like that last time. But yeah, this is a new one. I ain't gonna we gonna have to play. I haven't played it yet. I'm sure I'll be over there this weekend. Like, if you there, I'll play with you or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not gonna have many games on it anyways when we play. But yeah, I'm gonna need them runs in that. 2K dropping soon. And but yeah, it's just a great time of the year, man. Christmas coming up. My son's birthday's coming up. But yeah, man. This guy here, I like him. He's very talented and all that shit like that. Fucking KD, bro. Like, niggas better realize, bro. Like, I was telling again, me and Mario was talking, bro. We was like, Kawhi or KD. I chose Kawhi. He chose KD. I'm like, it's just the what is it called, bro? It's just the name KD and like what niggas think KD is. KD is good as fuck, but he and his actions is proving what I'm gonna like. He's just a nigga, a good ass scoring, a good ass bucket. That's all he is. He ain't nothing else. But I love KD. Like, he's nice as fuck. One of my favorite niggas. But he now be requesting a trade and all that shit like that. Like, Like, damn it, KD. Damn it. Tighten up. Like, I don't think he's gonna, I don't know. I don't know. I want to say more about it, but like, it's just, I don't know what to say on that nigga. But anyways, before we go, I just thought of this randomly. I want to talk about Kyler Murray contract, but that shit's already done. KD, I really don't want to talk about that anymore. Like, he just gotta be better, bro. Like, no, I don't know what to say about KD. Like, I'm at the point where I need to just wrap this up or whatever. But this right here, why don't we consider defensive niggas the best player in the league, but we consider a good offensive nigga the best player in the league that has no defense? We won't consider a great defensive player, zero offense, the best player in the league, but we consider a great offensive player, zero defense, the best player in the league. Why is that? Because, like, if somebody say, oh, Luka the best player in the league, I won't have no problems with that. But say, who's a great defender that has no offense? It's probably a better name I can say, but off the top of my head, let's say people will never say Draymond the best player in the league. But why is that? They'll say a great offensive player is the best player in the league, but they won't say a great defensive player is the best player in the league. I don't know. I was just wondering that. And yeah, man. Oh, and yeah. I thought of this because he's one of my favorite niggas, but just a little side note, has nothing to do with anything. Paul George is one of the most complete niggas in the league. Like, he needs to get more respect than he does. He got everything. He has no weaknesses. None. There's not many niggas you can say that about. Kawhi is a nigga that has no weakness. Paul George is a nigga that has no weakness. Shit. Like, they have offense, defense, passing, rebounding. Yeah, bro. Them niggas have no weaknesses. But yet, Paul George don't get, I don't know, bro. Like, he don't get respect put on his name. But Paul George is like that. But anyways, we're going to get out of here. We're going to play, one verse king, I guess you can say. But yeah, man. Golly, why do I always forget? This might be your first time, last time, returning. You're here for a reason, whatever the reason that is. I appreciate you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll see you in payday. I'm thinking about changing the day from Wednesday, because Wednesday is getting kind of hard. I gotta go to work and shit and all that shit like that. But yeah, man, I'll see y'all next time.